2 of the 9 men accused of murdering a 19-year-old woman in Nkonyana have been acquitted on murder charge in the Khayelitsha Magistrates Court, and scores of ANC members have gathered in Bisho to commemorate the 1992 Bisho massacre. Ambosiso Wakhatebo with the latest news update. 2 of the 9 men accused of murdering a 19-year-old woman, Zoliswa Nkonyana, have been acquitted on a murder charge in the Khayelitsha Magistrates Court. The court found that the state did not provide sufficient evidence to prove their guilt. Nkonyana was stabbed and stoned to death in 2006 because she was a lesbian. Vanessa Puna reports.
There were shot gasps from the public gallery when Magistrate Radia Watton made her findings. Accused number 3, Anela Gwele, and accused number 6, Solile Kobese, now leave their 7 co-accused in the dock. In reading her reasons for her findings, Watton says it is incumbent on the court to consider all evidence and that the states against these 2 did not warrant that they answer to a murder charge. All the accused have been acquitted on 2 charges of attempted murder relating to state witnesses. Vanessa Puna, SABC News at the Khayelitsha Magistrates Court.
The situation is calm at the Tembelihle informal settlement in Lenasia, south of Johannesburg. This follows 2 days of violent service delivery protests by residents in the area. Several people who've been arrested in connection with the protests are due to appear in court later today. Residents had threatened to continue with their protest action outside the court, but there's no sign of them yet. Police, though, remain on high alert. Edwin Tidi reports.
As some residents are preparing to appear in court, police have warned that violence won't be tolerated anymore. Residents of the area went on a 2-day-long violent protest demanding improved basic services. They stoned cars and barricaded roads with burning objects. Gauteng MEC for Housing, Humphrey Memezi, was in the area yesterday and told residents that their area is dolomatic and it will be impossible to improve it. Edwin in City, SABC News, at the Tembelihle Informal Settlement, south of Johannesburg.
Public Enterprises Minister Malusi Gigaba says South Africa has no plans to privatize logistics group Transnet and power utility Eskom to attract more investment and has no intention of splitting the companies. Gigaba says infrastructure development is the responsibility of the state, but he expects the private sector to play a bigger role. Private investors have repeatedly said they could help relieve Eskom and Transnet's strained balance sheet and speed up much-needed development in power plants and rail lines. So far, investors have been limited by regulatory hurdles, but Gigaba says his ministry is developing a framework for how they should be involved in the sector. Gigaba says state firms are on track to meet borrowing targets spelt out in the February budget and that Transnet plans to borrow from the international market later this year. And lastly, scores of ANC members have gathered in Bisho to commemorate the 1992 Bisho massacre. Thousands of people marched to Bisho to demand the resignation of Ciskei homeland leader Opaqozo. Makaya Komisa reports.
The march to the Ciskei homeland was led by senior ANC leaders, including the late SACP Secretary General Chris Hani, Cyril Ramaphosa, Steve Tshwete and Ronnie Castles. Ciskei Defence Force soldiers opened fire on the marchers with automatic weapons, killing 28 marchers and 1 soldier and injuring over 200 people. Yesterday, Arts and Culture Minister Paul Mashatile laid wreaths at the Bisho Massacre Monument as part of the heritage launch in the province. ANC provincial leaders are expected to attend the ceremony. Akaya Komisa, SABC News, Bisho.
Catch the latest news anytime here on Newsbreak, Option 1.